So we're pretty much agreed that everybody's done with cable, and moving on to streaming. But what kind of shows are y'all watching lately?
I just watched His and Hers. That's on Netflix. It's about a news reporter, and she black, and the guy who played the Punisher, he white, and they get it on.
That's it.
I don't remember
I thought the
nothing
guy
else
who
from
played
the
the
movie. For
Punisher
real,
was indigenous, but maybe not. Maybe I never watched the Punisher.
is he? I don't think so.
We always call him Shane because of Walking Dead. We like,
Yeah,
oh,
he's basically
like
Shane.
we don't. I don't like. If I had to think about it, I could get to his name, but I don't even. When he in a show, I'm like, babe, is that Shane?
Yeah.
That Shane in the show? All
People
right.
do a role where they're just that role forever.
Mm-hmm.
Detective Batista.
Yeah.
Every time.
The,
He's Detective Batista every time.
The show I've been watching. I've been watching the reboot of Scrubs. The reboot of Scrubs came out.
Oh, is that good?
Oh, that.
It's very good
Wait,
so far.
I didn't even know it came out.
They only have 2 episodes so far, but I've been watching that reboot, and it is just as good as Scrubs. A lot of people have been saying it's not a reboot; it's just effectively the next season of Scrubs. That's how good it is. They have two episodes out so far, but they're definitely making more, and they have confirmed more actors and actresses coming back to the show. So I've been watching that.
Factual statement that becomes a hot take because of the statement. I've never seen Scrubs.
And that's okay.
Never
We're
seen
here for you. We see you.
Some
we
of my
support
closest
you.
friends were like into the show. And I was the dude that when we was chilling, they would throw lines back and forth from the show, and I'd be like, I'm here too.
No,
I am also present.
I'm also here. No, I love Scrubs so much. I used to work at my last job. There was someone who we just had that kind of relationship, and we did the Eagle. It was good shit.
I went through a similar phase with The Office because I didn't watch a lot of The Office.
Me too.
And so people would like this and that, and I'd be like, yeah.
Wait, so did
Did you know?
Did you ever watch The Office though?
I've watched a lot of it since, so
Okay.
I'm hip to the major stuff. But if you wanted like a fourth for like a quiz team, I'm not your guy.
Damn, yeah, because
No,
I could definitely
no.
do some Scrubs trivia, boy. Oh, I would crush. But yeah, I've been watching that.
I know the dude from Clueless is in it. That's what I know. That cat. That's
Paul
all.
Rudd in Clueless?
Paul Rudd was in Clueless,
Yeah,
and he looked the same now. He could be
does
if
look
they
the same.
if they did Clueless again, they could just put Paul Rudd in that shit and just be like, here you go, man. You just do the same thing you did 30 something years ago, or whatever. I don't know I don't remember when it came out.
Oh,
But
it's a new Jason Bateman joint out called DTF St. Louis.
I think I seen a trailer for that.
What's that about?
But I don't. The only thing I know is when I seen it and I seen the title, I was like, wait. And I said what that stand for. I'm like, it's a show about that? Like,
That's what it
Yeah. Okay.
Down to Freak.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I
Apparently.
don't know how much I can say about it without giving stuff away. But
I thought it just stood for something else. Don't y'all? Which one of it? I thought one of y'all didn't like Jason Bateman like that.
nah.
it's a love-hate relationship.
It's you. All right.
Yeah, because he always scolding me. Like, I think he's fun. It's funny, but I do get tired of him just being disappointed in everybody all the time.
That's funny. Mine, and I'm tripping because I didn't watch this episode that came out last night, is Matlock.
Oh yeah, you did. So with Kathy Bates.
Yeah, the Kathy Bates Matlock.
I love Kathy Bates. I really do love Kathy Bates.
She do her thing in that show, and it's crazy because I had a love-hate relationship with the original Matlock because everybody talking on that show, I was like, I know you want to, like, if I was in that town, I know I wouldn't get out alive, but man, if you're not charming the way you do, I just want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich while you getting ready for court. So it was like, hey, this is irreverent, but also like
me and Matlock's first conversation would start off with him talking about how I'm better than those other blacks. Is what would happen. He would start talking about rap music and shit.
You're one of the good ones.
So you knew your father? That kind of thing. Yeah.
Type shit, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another one is Paradise, and that one's on Hulu, and we saw season 1. And this goes to you, Shaun, because this is a weird post the apocalypse show, right? And they give you what happened in pieces, but the only thing you know I'm just going to give you after the first episode. There's going to be spoilers here, so spoiler alert if you're watching. And I'll try to segment this so you can chapter it so you can skip ahead. But in the first season, like when you see the premise of the show, there's a whole society in this almost like seemingly utopian area. Mm-hmm. Somebody gets killed, and then you find out they're all in an underground, like Truman Show-esque bunker. Okay. Right? And as you watch, you're like, something happened, but they're not telling me what. And then eventually you get to see what it is that happened with the outside world. And so the reason that I bring this show up is to say, this right here is the End of a Species podcast. I'm Jeff from End of a Species. I'm here with my friends, Super Solid and Commissar Shaun. Everybody say Commissioner Shaun, but it's Commissar Shaun. And we're talking about the collapse hypothesis. I want to talk about this specific show. And so the spoiler alert has to do with this season. And in this season, we're seeing the outside world. And there are 2 characters in the outside world. One is Annie, played by Shailene Woodley. The other one is Xavier, played by Sterling K. Brown. And by the way, Sterling and Jason Bateman have the exact same dinner invite with me and my wife. Like, they could come over for dinner anytime. Like, unannounced. They could just knock on the door and be like, whatever we're having for dinner, we'll set you a plate, and we cool. We cool.
Okay.
What's the look?
That y'all just eating dinner?
Yeah. What? Look, I'm in Florida, but I'm not in that part of Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right.
I'm in
Pineapple, Florida.
No, I'm not in Pineapple or different color loofahs, Florida. No. Okay. You come over. You have some roast beef and potatoes.
You're not making it better.
Roast beef. Roast beef.
Going over for roast beef
and potatoes.
And then you get the fuck in your car and you go home. Like,
all I know is if Tessa Thompson say, "Hey, where's the meatloaf?"
All right, so you do live. So you in that part of and potatoes
and potatoes.
Apparently, Jeff is not in DTF, Florida,
and some cheesecake.
And some
oh man,
the cheesecake
and some cheese. Anyway, I almost went to the soundboard. I'm not going to hit the soundboard today for this episode. This episode is going to be soundboard free, at least while we're having this conversation, because we'll never get through it. But anyway, there's two points in the show in the second season where these 2 characters run into strangers.
Okay.
And so now it's post-apocalypse, and you run into strangers, And there's this moment where, like, us as the audience, we're looking at the show and we're like, uh-oh, this is going to get bad. And instead of it getting bad, when Annie runs into strangers, it's like I'm just going to say it, she's in Graceland, like that Graceland, by herself. People show up and they end up cooking her dinner and giving her supplies and making sure she's good. Like, just...
Oh, wait. Because I was like, cooking her dinner. You mean like cooking her for dinner?
No.
Apparently
Making her like just food. Like, hey, you want to eat with us? Cool.
Where's the meatloaf?
Having conversations. Like, that's it. And it's for the goofy, like the silliest thing. It's like one of them, like, they're roaming and they're on their way somewhere, and one of them was like, I'm an Elvis fan. Can we see Elvis's car collection? And then they go up to her because she used to work there, right? And so now she's stuck there. And they're like, yo, they ask her, like, these guys are all armed up, guns, dressed in black and everything. We want to see Elvis's car collection. And then they go to the garage and they see it and like, hey, that's nice. And then they go, you want to come with us? She ends up saying no. And they're like, okay, we'll respect your boundary. And off they go. And it's like, this is in the apocalypse?
All right, then.
Yeah, that's weird. And then the second scenario is Annie has a condition. She ends up pregnant, right? I won't go into the details, but her and Sterling, Xavier, are walking somewhere. They got to go somewhere. And all of a sudden they see strangers coming the other way on the road. And Annie, like, don't make eye contact. Don't talk to them. Don't nothing. He says hello. They keep going. So now she needs medical attention, and he goes to run to those strangers to get medical attention. And for any other scenario where there's an apocalypse, you're like, he's going to have to fight them and kill them for their supplies. Nah, You go back, the door opens, whole bunch of people run in, and they're like, hey, how can we help you? They help out, and they're like, we'll deliver the baby. No problem. Here's towels, hot water, whatever it is. And so I'm looking at the show like, what is happening?
Right.
What is going on?
This is an apocalyptic show, right?
Yeah. And so that leads to my question, which is, in apocalypse shows, right? They're making a statement about human nature. And so then my question becomes, are they the most of the apocalypse shows that we watch, that we're fed, are they wrong about human nature?
Most people in general are wrong about human nature.
I mean, I would have to say, yeah, because and agree with Solid, but I think shows in particular, I get what you're saying, because in post-apocalyptic shows, they try and make it so that humans are greedy. They need all of these supplies, especially when there's a scarcity like there is in an apocalypse. So they depict people as like violent, and you have to be violent in order to live. It's kill or be killed kind of thing. When the truth is, and we know this as socialists, as Marxists, is that people are more inclined, we have more of a propensity to help out each other and be communal. And when you said what you had said, all the buildup was crazy. First off, the buildup, you're like, she's pregnant. And then he goes back to these people, and the door opens up and it swings open, and there's a burst of light. And you see niggas standing there with guns. And then you're like, how can I help you? You look like you're in duress. You're like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, he pulled out a knife, and they all backed up.
And then he cut an apple.
Open. My
Like,
wife's
hey,
pregnant down the street.
I'm going to support you in your endeavors. I got you.
Like, yo.
And usually, like, we're expecting to see something like a raider, like,
No, 100%.
cannibals,
100%.
like militia groups or something like that. Just people trying to, like, either kill you or steal your shit.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things. And so to see that not happen is weird. Yeah. And so, like, I always think, well, in this particular case, I'm thinking, which one of those is correct? Like, so you hit the nail on the head that I'm in agreement with you. I think when it comes down to it, we're going to work together. I think it just plays better to the screen when you have like the manufactured conflict, right? Because now you have something you have to fight against as opposed to making the problem the thing you're fighting against. What do you think?
No, I definitely agree with that. I think that there might be a little more to it though, because when it comes to when resources are scarce, people do tend to act a little crazy. People tend to because you know you got to eat, you know, and so people tend to do things to other people. But I do think that there is something to be said about shows that have like The Walking Dead, where it's an apocalyptic show and it's constant fighting and constant drama, and all of the groups that you come to are like just raiders and fucking cannibals and people who want to kill you. Like every person, like nobody is chilling. I mean, you had Herschel, and you had Ezekiel towards the end, but out of all the groups, it's 10 or 12 different groups that they found, and 2 of them have been passive.
You know what always tripped me out about Walking Dead is that the least of your worries was the walkers.
That's true.
Like
That's
the
true.
walkers were just used as a thing. Like, we're done with this setting now. Let's rip open a hole in the fence and make it so that there's this plot mover that moves you from this place all the way over here to this other place.
Exactly.
And so like, as soon as they like you see characters that are like, well, I got walkers as pets. Like, okay, so then we don't even care about those. We're more worried about like Negan and the general and shit,
Dead
like
serious,
or the governor and shit. Like that's
Walking around with
the
them on
real
leashes
yeah.
and a katana. They was just like, yo, what is the coolest character we could possibly? Yeah, they just was like every cool trope. Give her a katana. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, for sure.
So the most menacing thing on there is other people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so then I wonder, like, why is it that Hollywood goes out of its way to set that as the pattern, to make that the thing, like so that when the society falls, it's stranger danger, right? Like I think of the fact that when we're so ruggedly individual now with society being how it is. And so it's more and more rare. Like if I go to the grocery store, it's more and more rare to just go to a random person and say, hello, how you doing? Some places they'll do that, but it is much more rare now than it used to be. It used to be commonplace.
Right.
People are actually surprised when I went to a place a couple days ago. It was just a regular like little grocery store, and I opened the door and somebody was wrestling with a shopping cart outside, and they were surprised that I held the door open for them. Like I just walked back out because I'm like, there's a pull door and you're already struggling with the shopping cart, so I might as well hold the door open because you're gonna struggle even more with the door. Right, it doesn't cost me the 30 seconds ain't gonna be nothing for me. And so they were like, "Oh my god, people don't normally do that." And they walked in, and I'm like, "It's weird, right?" So, do you think that Hollywood is doing that specifically so that we don't distrust each other, or do you think it's the other way around, that we're not trusting each other, and they're commenting on that?
I don't. I think there's a few answers to this. Writers, when they're writing about fear, I think the type of fear that a lot of writers, especially white writers, invoke is insignificance. Think Cthulhu, right? Think extraterrestrials, right? Think not being the most powerful force in the world. That's frightening for some people. That there's being small, that is a type of fear. So when humanity itself is turned against you, right? And it's almost this thing about, I'm thinking about 28 days, right? Um,
28
where it's
days
just like
later?
this.
28 days?
28 days later.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
thought. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, just this kind of thing of like, you're the rabbit now,
Hmm.
you know? That's a type of fear that's invoked. And if the goal is fear, right? But then the fear is also often, as we know, like a backdrop to slide hidden messages in. I'm going to bring up a zombie land where the message was absolutely family, not just family, but a family that was made through community, right? The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb type shit. Then you got the type of the Marauders post-apocalyptic type of deal, right? Where these post-apocalyptic movies are oftentimes written by people who believe in survival of the fittest, right? They believe that only the strong survive, and what is going to help somebody survive? Now, for some people, the answer is other people, and then for some, the answer is badassery. For some, it's God-given talent. See Book of Eli.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So for me, I think that horror and post-apocalyptic movies are a genre of horror. I think horror has always been a vehicle to just kind of put out a message. Sometimes it's fashy as fuck. Sometimes it's kind of cool, but either way, no matter what, you're going to have presumptions about what humanity is capable of. And I think that some people do have the presumption that individualism is a natural thing.
If it's such a natural thing, why force it?
It's a great question. Because it's not a natural thing.
Yeah, I mean, with the forcing it seems like they know it's not a natural thing, right? Like, and I'm gonna bring this up only because, I always say I'm just a lowly philosopher, but y'all are into the sociology and the politics and the wall paint and all of that. So I'm gonna say, like, in the research that I did for this episode, I came across Thomas Hobbes and Peter Kropotkin, right? And so, like, there's the idea of without some leadership, people just become solitary. So I think that's the natural, hey, individualistic thing. Whereas Peter Kropotkin talks about mutual aid. And when that brings up, we bring up mutual aid all the time. So putting those two views against each other, I think that historically, like in the real world, we see more mutual aid. Case in point, when there's things like Katrina that happen, you see people for no other reason than to do it, going over when the government won't, to help people get out of like a flooded area, right? Volunteers, think 9/11, how many people went into New York to try to dig through debris and help when other people would not. And so I think that's a thing we see constantly. And then where it's like, hey, the government is the thing to make you do it. They're constantly not doing it, right? So I'm gonna lead. I think I know where y'all lean, but I want you to refer to it anyway. I'm gonna lean more towards Kropotkin and just what I see in the world, even though the Hollywood media of it tells you that that's not the case. So what do y'all think of that?
I'm glad you brought up Katrina, because the people who were on the ground in Katrina were, as you said, supporting each other and making a way. They were also going into stores and grabbing non-perishables. to people who were not on the ground, the sentiment was that they were looting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
From a vantage point of capitalism, where you believe in the status quo, the maintenance of the state, right, the law and order, right, perhaps the biggest fear is that you will be forced into criminality. Or perhaps the biggest fear is that civilization feels safe. And what does that say about criminal? Perhaps criminality is just surviving civilization, right? Like perhaps criminality is just surviving. But the mutual aid is, I think that's natural because it's always been. Mutual aid has always been a thing. There's never not been a time where community was doing for each other. Like that's never not happened.
But think of what criminality is, right? Criminality is at its face me doing the thing that some other motherfucker told me I can't do. That's all it is, right? And so it's one thing when it's like I'm killing people or raping people or something like that, right? It's a whole different thing. Like when you look at Katrina, people aren't going into stores to just grab stock options in some Fortune 10 company so they could get rich. They're going over there to eat. So like, if the criminality is going to get something to eat, then the thing you told me not to do is go get something to eat, which means the thing you told me to do is die. Like, so it's criminal not to die. That's weird to me, right? Well, I'm just saying, like, the label is fine, is good and well, but it's odd to put that label when you then strip the label away and to just say, hey, what is it you're actually telling me to do? Oh, so what you're telling me to do is die? Okay, then no, I don't care if you call it criminal or not. I don't want to die. That's crazy.
No, 100%. As we all know, we've done the research. The biggest driver of crime is poverty, and people do those things. Like people do the crimes because when crimes are created, they're not created to protect the public. They're created to protect the interest of capital. So they don't care about whether or not you eat. The people who are making laws and making things against the laws. When it comes to Hobbes or Kropotkin, I do think Hobbes has a small point. I will say this when it comes to liberatory action, because there's something that was said. I can't remember who said it, but I'll say the quote and people can look it up. And the quote is, when you just keep telling a person about a problem and giving them no solution, they just get used to the problem. A lot of the times in a system that criminalizes things that are liberatory action, that criminalizes things like eating food and being able to get food, people, the fear of dying overcomes their fear of that torture, because torture to me is worse than death. And prison is torture. Free labor is torture. Even when it comes to the things that they say that they do for prisoners and putting prisoners in programs that are supposed to re-educate prisoners or whatever, that re-education within a capitalistic framework is torture because it is brainwashing you to be okay with dying. And I think people are really afraid of that torture. And so they go, well, I'm just going to get used. People can't eat every day. 1 in 5 children go hungry. Looks like I gotta distract myself from that fact. Looks like I gotta go and there's homeless people all over my neighborhood. Looks like I gotta fucking close my blinds and not look out the window. Like they just get used to the problem.
Or worse, convince myself that that's the way it should be, or that they're actually bad people.
Exactly this.
Yeah.
when it comes to what Thomas Hobbes is saying, his original thesis, I believe, is that without any leadership, he's just advocating for leadership, for people to have a position over other people. But I do think when it comes to liberatory action, there does need to be some form of leadership where people know what to do and how to get there, and those people should be the most educated people. I think education breeds leadership. That's just what I personally think for liberatory action. Because if you have no education, you're not going to do any liberation. You're just going to be reacting, and that's what we call reactionary.
I think the education also inoculates you from the idea that some people aren't worth anything, because to go back to Katrina, the reason that people went there to do whatever they were doing is because it wasn't their fault, right? They were just living their life, and then these levees broke, and so they deserve help. Whereas the homeless community or whoever's poor, a lot of work is done to say, yeah, that's your fault, right?
Absolutely.
So, like, we can expand that out to like an apocalypse. If there's a giant like tsunami or some whatever, or a meteor, or some Resident Evil virus, and all of a sudden everybody's like, that's not your fault. So you're still human. We got to help each other. Hey, let's go. But I think the education will prevent you from seeing, like, first it'll teach you the poverty is part of the system. It's not anybody's fault. It's the same as the tsunami. And so because of that, then you'll say, okay, so these people are not less than, right?
I think that when it comes to apocalyptic things, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
When it comes to apocalyptic things, I do also believe that people convince themselves that it's our fault. Like, especially with zombie apocalypse things, there's usually some form of origin story where some humans who could have stopped it knew about it, but they didn't for whatever reason, whether that be profit or whether that just be for themselves, an evil action, just being an evil motherfucker and wanting humanity to suffer, some religious freak reason to bring about the apocalypse and to bring back Jesus or whatever else. Like, at least what Hollywood does for all of these things, like all of these things that I've named, that I've seen either in movies or TV shows. And it's like, oh my God, like it's like the last season they find out, oh my God, the military knew about it the whole time. Why didn't anyone do anything about it? Or actually the military put it in the water. If you watch like The Crazies, when you see The Crazies, they put it in the water. They made that a thing. But yeah, it's like Hollywood even pushes the idea, well, it's humanity's fault. It's humanity's fault. So when the people are going around doing things in the apocalypse, they go, this is all our fault. We did this, and now we have to figure out a way to fix it. And it's supposed to be some form of redemption story while they go around John Wicking everybody.
Jeff, you're a genius, and you could tell me to shut up here. But I just realized that when we talk about liberation, when we talk about revolution, people think it means apocalypse.
Okay.
They they think it's going to be Book of Eli.
Yeah. Okay.
That's true.
I could see that.
That's true.
They think it. So you're saying they think it's going to be one of these every man for himself kind of like topple everything kind of deals. That's interesting. It's interesting because, and Shaun, you do this a lot, where when you're talking about post-revolution, you have a very autocratic sense of what's going to happen on the other side. Like, you're not just going to be like doing whatever the fuck you want to do. There is going to be someone telling you like, hey, nah, don't do that. Right.
Oh yeah, of course.
So there is still an like organization on the other side. It's just not organization that's telling you not to eat
Right. No, exactly this. Because when people think about, and I like that Solid brought that up, when people think about revolution, the way they talk about revolution, man, I'd be like, bro, just go go get some cereal.
Where
Like
am I
you're
gonna get my water?
let the big dog say. Literally this. Literally this. They be like they pretend
What
as if
about
like
my Doritos?
I completely and utterly understand that capitalism is inefficient in distribution of resources. There are food deserts, and like the first couple of days of the revolution, grocery stores will be emptied out of all of their water supply, and things like that. But there are still industrial parks with stacks and stacks of water that people can go get. Like these things, we're not going to be respecting the law and being like, yeah, but that's their water. We're stealing the shit, man. You'll still have water. You'll still have food. Like you'll still have community. And that's why we do the education to know, like when we move towards revolution, these are the things, these are the building blocks we need in place. And if you don't know, then that's why I said it's you just become a reactionary because you're just reacting to the things that happen. You're doing a revolution, and then as soon as you run out of food, you're reacting to not having food, which I think pushes that mindset, or at least for Hollywood, pushes that mindset of creating marauders and raiders and cannibals because they're just reacting. They had no plan to begin with. They didn't think about it. And I think humans
you or
are more
Noah
complex
brought up
than that.
dual power structures the other day.
Oh yeah, I talk about dual power all the time. Yeah, yeah, the competing powers against the systems that are now in place to compete against them. Like, which one is gonna succeed more in an apocalyptic environment? Someone trying to rip people off, or someone giving you food for free? It just goes without saying.
Yeah, the ex nihilo moment here would be that if you are like in this revolutionary state where an institution is being toppled and you have water and you say that's their water, you probably deserve to go extinct. Like if you're not going to drink because there's some sort of invisible like their stuff. Like I could hear X saying that, like, yeah, you know what, this life wasn't meant for you. I did ask my Discord the question that if the world collapsed tomorrow, what role do you think you'd end up playing in the new society? And I wanted to go over some of the answers because the answers kind of match up to the stuff that we've talked about. Like, and I'll try to put them up on the screen without having people's names there, but I'm just gonna go down the list. A caregiver. Is quilter an option? Of course, it's an option.
We need clothes.
Somebody said that they need to pick up another hobby besides gaming and watching TikTok lives. I don't think they do. I think that's perfectly fine.
I think that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, hunter. Somebody said hunter gatherer because they can garden, they can raise livestock, they can hunt, they can trap. They know how to preserve the stuff they harvest. Couple of people said caregiver and said for specifically for children or for people who are we'll say otherly abled, right? And somebody said that they'd be the resident tinkerer because they know how to cobble together mechanical and electronic machines specifically to feed, house, and connect us, right? So that's another one. Somebody said they would be a scout and a community unifier. Of course, I'm going to point out one of our favorites, Nafi, wall painter and teacher. Wall painter and teacher is unhinged, but also, from what we know, probably accurate.
Accurate. I think that is. I think it is mad important. When it comes to socialism, I avoid saying this on TikTok because it's TikTok. But when people say, who's going to do the dirty work? I don't think they understand what dirty work means in socialism. Like, I don't think that they understand at all what that actually means. The dirty work is the people who are going to be shooting the fascists. Like, that's the dirty work. That's super duper dirty work. It's grimy work. Ask my brother. Like, grimy work, tear you apart.
I was
They
just
just
about
talk
to
about
say, I
plumbing.
think my job, I would be a medic and a stand-up comedian.
In that
Stand-up
order.
comedian?
Yeah, I'd be like, what's the deal with all these cannibals?
What's
You know?
You would be a Seinfeld stand-up comedian
Yeah.
and a medic.
Oh
Who
no!
are all these cannibals? I
Look,
mean, get a load of them, huh?
if I know you're joking around, but if it was the revolution, and you came at me with that, I might have to do some dirty work. Just letting you know, we might be in dirty work territory. If you came at me with some,
You wanted to eat in public. Now you're like, hey, could you not? You know,
that's one step
Why
away
are
from
these
Larry
jokes
David.
funny?
And Larry David's not surviving the revolution. That's a fact. Like, I'm just letting you know.
I feel like
Anybody
Larry
who's
David,
like,
hold on. Larry David might make it a little into the revolution there. I don't know. if
anybody
he's
who
not
has a
making it out.
45-minute conversation about who can hold your place in line at the buffet, that's
Those are
probably
important.
somebody who's.
Those are important questions. Those are important questions. Do you respect wood? Do you use a coaster? These are important questions.
Mm-hmm. I see you. You know what is important. Let's do this. I'm gonna do a quick top 5.
Okay.
And these are ones that I came up with off the top of my head, but we know CEO is not one of them. The top 5 jobs that become instantly important after the apocalypse. So we have an apocalypse. Everything has fallen. There's a series of tsunamis or storms or asteroid hits or zombies or whatever.
Okay.
And at 5, I have a farmer for food production because food becomes
At 5?
power. Yeah, 5. At 4,
Wait, we're doing it in order?
Yeah, these are in order.
Okay.
At 4, we have mechanics, right? Because
Okay.
we want automation, and mechanics are going to help us get there. At 3, we have doctors, okay? Because of the medical, I mean, that part is obvious.
Yeah,
2, electricians. Electricians and mechanics equals the more automation. And number 1 is, like, I thought about this for a while, and I had this in a different order. But this number 1 jumped up the more I thought about how important number 1 is. And as soon as I say it, you may disagree, but when you think about it, you're gonna agree. Plumbers.
Plumbers is literally my number 5.
Sure. If we're doing, you know what? I'm not going to argue because they're all important, but plumbers over doctors sounds kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, the less plumbers you have, the more doctors you need. The less plumbers you have, the more you need of all the other 4.
So here's my thing. Sanitation specialists, I think, would cover the gambit. My sister talks all the time about these poop burning toilets. They burn the poop in the toilet. You don't even have to worry about it. Right?
But real quick, I just want you
literally at my number 5.
I just want you to think plumbers are not just for like the sanitation. It's not just toilets. It's where the water goes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. That's one of the big things where, and I'm not going to digress too much, but when people say, well, who's going to be a plumber under socialism? And I'm just like, you don't even know that most plumbers don't deal with shit on a daily basis. Like, it's mostly just water. They are mostly moving water to a place where you need water to be, which is why I think Jeff put them at number 1, because water is you can go months without food. Go 3 days without water. Nigga.
You could go, and a matter of fact, you can go months without being fed and find food.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's no, like, there's places where there is food but no water, and you're not gonna find water.
That's true.
Like, the water has to be brought to you. You can go to the food, but the water has to be brought to you.
And plumbers don't just, when it comes to getting water, they don't just move the water. They make sure, they have the tools to make sure the water is safe to put on your body, to put in your body. That is a good number one. I don't know if I put them over Doctor still, but I get what you're saying.
Like, for me, this is how prevalent food is. And this is something I thought about while I was making this list.
Okay.
Capitalism does more work to move food away from you than it does to bring food to you.
Of course. Of course.
Like the thing with the trees, everybody knows, oh, all the trees are, they can't bear fruit, the ones just in the street, because we all made them one sex, right?
That's true.
Like that's work to bring food away from you. The regulations that say, hey, if you have livestock, it can only grow here. That's work bringing food away from you. You can hunt, but only in these like work bringing food away from you. Hey, if you grow more than this much stuff, well, you gotta no. That's no good. That's work bringing food away from. Like there are places where the soil is so rich that if you just plant something, it'll just keep growing the thing, and we have to stop. Hey, we're gonna burn under this stuff to get rid of bringing food away. It does so much work to bring the food away.
That's true.
But if it ever did that much work to bring the water away, we're all dead. Like if you have to bring the water to where the people are, like no other way around it. Like you don't see work being done to take a water source and say, hey, like let's move this away. And you can't have a lake. Like you have to have water. So are there any other, like aside from the top five, I know you would want doctors to be high. Would you want doctors to be number one?
I personally,
I want agriculturists to be one.
Agriculturists.
So like a farmer, or you're making a different thing here? Like a farmer or like a different category?
Just, I'm thinking of spheres in general. Like you need food. Agriculturist covers the gambit.
Okay.
Right? As opposed to horticulturists, you know. Then because I'm including like pastoral shit, like motherfucking, because I'm trying to give me a horse burger. Then I want the doctors. Then I want sanitation specialists. Really, I can't rank them because they're all looped in, right? The engineers and the mechanics or whatnot, right? They're feeding technology to the medical people, to the plumbers, to the right. The plumbers are making sure that the mechanics don't get sepsis because they pooping, right? Because they're getting poop all over them, right? Like it all ties in. You know, the plumbers are collecting the poop, giving it to the farmers. The farmers are making fertilizer. You see where I'm going with this? You see how this is? Like they're all interconnected. But one of the ones that I don't think we think about a lot is the Magic Mike niggas. You're gonna need booty shakers. In the apocalypse, you're gonna have to have you some consensual booty shaking.
Some consensual booty shake. Okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
just to
one of the things that I don't know if I agree that you need booty shakers in particular, but I do know that something about the apocalypse that I think about all the time, like if an apocalypse were to happen, is the lack of entertainment. And I do think we need entertainment. I do think that would be something that would be in my top five. I don't know what part of Jeff's...
you the most.
First off, I'm talking about everyone's general entertainment. A big thing about the apocalypse, and especially what makes or break an apocalyptic show, is dialogue and what they have to talk about. And if it's good shit, then we fuck with the show. And if it's boring shit, we're just like, this shit is boring, cut this shit off. That's why season 2 of The Walking Dead was so boring to a lot of people, because the dialogue was just them doing target practice in the very next episode talking about how little ammo they had. It didn't make any sense. But they did target practice because they were bored. They didn't have nothing else to do, and they wanted to teach people stuff. Like that was a whole thing. And that's why I think that's a big reason also as to why there is drama, so much drama within apocalyptic shows, because they don't have any entertainment to keep themselves busy, and they don't have an office job. They don't have capitalism to worry about, so they have to figure out a new struggle. But I do think entertainers are really important. I don't know. Maybe entertainers is number 6. And I would go with Jeff's list, but I would switch plumbers and doctors for me, because doctors keep plumbers alive. So that's just what I would do.
I guess, so for entertainers, isn't the only thing you need to qualify as a booty shaker just a booty?
Bro.
Just a booty. So why not moonlight?
I'm not talking
Why not
about
moonlight?
booty.
Listen, imagine the plumber. He gets finished. His job is booties all around at this point, right? Because the plumber, right?
Listen,
It's a before and after type of deal.
I'm going to just tell you this. When I'm done with work, if I see one more spreadsheet,
Right.
Yo,
that's a double entendre. See,
one
but
more
what
spreadsheet is nuts.
One
what
more
I'm-
spreadsheet.
But what I'm saying is, if you then gotta pick somebody, maybe the agriculturist should be doing the booty shaking moonlighting, not the plumber.
Why
You know,
are we?
they're too
Listen,
tired.
hold on, time out. I
No,
just
they're
want to
too
pause.
tired. They've been
No
up since
pause.
early in the morning.
I need a pause. I need a
Okay,
pause.
all right.
I need
Okay.
a 30. I need a 30-second timeout. I'm talking when I say entertainment. I just want to make it very clear that I am talking about entertainment as a whole. I'm talking
Sure, you
about
put on plays.
booty shaking is entertainment as a whole.
This is what I
Wait,
been
no,
trying to
no,
say
no,
since
no,
the
no.
beginning, since I
Hold on,
introduced the
'cause-
concept. But
Booty shaking could be a whole that is entertaining.
what is going on right now? What is happening right now?
but I can't do my Seinfeld stand-up. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm
angry
talking about
about
what
it.
Solid is talking about. I'm talking about people learning the words to Hamlet, people learning the words to the Vampire's Apprentice.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If given a choice, and look, you know I'm a happily married monogamous man, but if given a choice between booty shaking and to be or not to be, that's easy.
What
That's an easy
lights out the
choice, right?
window breaks? Move around. Get out
We're
of
talking,
here.
look, the way me and my wife would be like, bring on the loofahs. If the other choice is Hamlet, if the
Hey, yo,
other
Tibble,
I'm
make some
just-
shake.
the other choice being Hamlet, nigga, like come on.
Time out.
Wait, we
Time
acting
out.
like hold on, because
'Cause
we're
I'm
forgetting
just-
that
is
during
Lynn-
these Shakespearean plays, booty shaking twas a foot.
Sure, that is also true. But we are forgetting. Is Lin-Manuel Miranda going to make it through the apocalypse with us? Because
If I have anything to say about it, we doing Moana 7 right after. That's happening. You hear me, Lynn? You are safe. If I have anything to say about it,
Moana 7 is
Moana
like
we are doing raps with that Samoan god dude. What the hell is his name? Who gives a fuck? Just more Lynn raps. Yeah, that's a thing that's gonna happen.
Wait, aren't they doing a
my
live action? I heard they
God.
doing a live action Moana.
I'm with it. I'm with
with
it.
it.
Long story short, entertainment equals morale.
Yes,
Morale
exactly.
equals not
Exactly.
giving up. I'm just telling y'all what gets my morale up. That's all I'm saying.
We still talking about like enthusiasm or
Booty shaking.
booty shaking. All right, cool.
Talking
All
about
right,
cheeks
excellent.
shaking.
All right.
Crazy word.
Well, let me flip it on y'all because we talked about what scares you about, like, what's the thing you'd be most scared of if an apocalypse happens?
You want to go first?
Isolation.
Okay.
Absolute isolation. I'm most afraid of being by myself. Just walking. The last man on earth, I'm telling you, I Am Legend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about the book. I'm talking about the movie. Right?
Those were. I don't know what the problem is. Those are happy movies. I don't know what you.
No, bro. He just walking around. First of all, first thing I'm doing is I'm gonna go find me. Look, I'm being a freak today. I'm being a freak, Bob. I'm going to find me a love dog. That's gonna be my new wife. Okay,
bro.
I'm gonna tell you this.
The conversations we're gonna have as we drive through the city. I'm just gonna be like, you know what your problem is? You don't never listen. Okay, you always want to argue with somebody.
If I wake up in the morning and I walk outside and I'm like, is anybody gonna say some stupid shit today? And I just no.
Boo.
But that's also my fear, though. I will say, because I was going to say that too. I fear isolation, like going through the apocalypse. And it's not even just like, because for me, it's not even isolation in the sense of like last person on earth, because that's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. But isolation, like the isolation that happens within the apocalypse, that essentially drives people away from you. You could be surrounded by like a bunch of people, like doing the apocalypse with like my immediate family.
Cut it.
Like, not at all. I love my father. I love my mother in capitalism. I love them. I love them very much. They are the best people that they can be at the moment. And at their funeral, I will say very, very nice things about them. I don't have too many negative things to say about them. I was abused as a child a little bit. You know, my mother called me by my weight for half of my life. Going through an apocalypse with these niggas, bro.
Think about my mama saying the same shit she just said 5 minutes ago.
Oh,
like it's
my
new
God.
shit.
Oh my God. And them talking about solutions to the apocalypse that I know for a fact are wrong. Like them talking about, we got to get to a landlocked area. The landlocked areas are the safest areas. And I'm just like, huh?
We have a new problem. Because now the problem is total isolation or needing or having to rely on being with. By the way, this is still the plot of Last Man on Earth. Sundays on Hulu. Right? Being in complete isolation or being stuck with the most annoying motherfucker.
No, deadass. Because like, that's the thing my family does. My family tries, but they don't listen. And I know I have solutions to things sometimes, and they just don't listen. And I am just alone in my sentiment for wanting to do the best thing. And then once shit goes wrong, everybody got the who farted face. And once shit goes wrong in an apocalypse, like if you say some shit, and you like, hey, we shouldn't do that. And then your family does it. And then some shit goes wrong. And in the apocalypse, that means someone died. And then everybody got the who farted face. And you just sitting there like, I fucking told you. But you can't say it because it's your dad.
Let me tell you what's interesting.
You don't have to say, I told you so. The alligator will just eat them.
But here's what's interesting about what y'all said. Because when I was working on the outline for this episode, the thing I thought we were going to get to was uncertainty. But y'all are scared of the thing that you sure is going to happen. Like you for sure are 100% certain these motherfuckers. And this is why for me, like the way y'all look at those people is how I look at almost practically everybody. Like I think if we had 10 people and everybody had their job and then we had like 5, like a sports team of some sort, but I don't know which sport. But we had like 10 people and then the B team over here, just in case one of y'all twist your ankle or something. That's perfect. Right? Wow. And nobody say nothing stupid. Just say the thing about the shit you working on right now that you know about. And it'll sound smart to me because I don't know nothing about plumbing. So when the plumber guy goes, L bracket, blah, 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 I'm like, oh, that sounds like some smart shit you just said. But you're not talking about like, hey, there's this thing I never heard of, but I'm an expert 2 seconds later. And you know, the thing about topography, don't do that. That's paradise for me.
If it's the last 2 people on Earth and one of them is tough, I'm the last nigga on earth.
I think that might be a good cut point right there. That was,
Yeah.
I can't say nothing after that.
Look, I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. I haven't recorded an episode in a hot minute, but we're going to be trying to do this on a weekly basis. So if you're listening to this, if you're watching on YouTube, like the episode, share with your friends, subscribe. We're going to be bringing you more stuff. Join the Discord. The Discord is going to be linked in the description. And I'll see y'all in the next episode. Thanks.